It's okay. She off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey supposed talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico. Maiyegun la wa mo la mo do. Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number 1.
Good evening to you.
Maiyegun la wa mo.
Good afternoon to you.
Maiyegun diary.
And good morning to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun live.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number 1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number 1.
Thank you very much for joining me. As you are joining, remember your first commitment, which is like this video, share it, then relax and enjoy the conversation.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number 1. Maiyegun diary Politico. Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number 1. Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number 1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ ṣe o kẹ́gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu. Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number 1. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀.
A state governor has just made a very, very important statement, which we are going to dissect on Maiyegun's diary, Politico, this moment. So share the broadcasts.
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook.
See, I have told you many times that the most potent good that the criminal politicians and their agents in Nigeria have been able to achieve in the last 20, at least 23 years of a demonstration of grace in Nigeria is fear. Fear is the most potent tool in their own toolbox. They will scare you. Oh, if you try that, no, it's going to be this. No. Take that away, and you will see clearly how these charlatans are also scared of that doomsday, that day that they will no longer receive the regular supply of their feeding bottles. They will no longer receive them anymore. And that will be the day that Nigeria will cease. A governor just said that APC, Egbekegbe, have done so well, but poverty has managed to shield them from the consequences of what they have done. And like Obaseki said, your worst days are just about to happen. So share the broadcast if you are going to be with us tonight.
And yes, we like and yes, we like
the first man in the recent history that first warned us of a probable or the possibility of Nigeria breaking up in history, in the recent history, is this man. Just a reminder.
My name is Nnamdi, and the reason why we're here today is to protest the killing of innocent women and children, and men for that matter, all over Nigeria, especially in the northern part of Nigeria. We are not happy, we are not pleased with what is happening, and that is why we're here today. As you can see, there are a lot of Nigerians who are protesting about the killing of families, people who are determined to tear the country apart violently, and it is not something that we support. It is not something that we would like to see continue, and we are here today to send a clear message to the Nigerian government through the High Commissioner that what is happening in the country is unacceptable, and we cannot accept it. If that continues, it will lead to the violent disintegration of the country. There will be no more Nigeria for anyone to go to. There will be no Nigeria for anyone to refer to. In fact, what is happening in Somalia today will be like a tea party. So we cannot allow this nonsense to continue. Something has to be done, and the consequences of the actions of terrorism in Nigeria must be driven home to the people, so that even the terrorists themselves will be able to understand that there is no mileage in where they're going. The only thing they can accomplish is the breakup of Nigeria. If they think that they can cower people, if they think they can force people to be coerced into a religion which is not theirs, then they are clearly mistaken. We are asking for peace. We are asking for people to get together. We are asking for everybody who loves Nigeria, who is associated with that country, to please prevail upon terrorism in Nigeria so we can bring it to an end. That is why a multitude of Nigerians are gathered here today. Those of us in the UK are determined to work with the government for peace. We are determined to work with the International Committee for Peace. The one thing we cannot stomach is a repeat of 1966. What is happening today in Nigeria was the reason why Nigeria fought a bitter civil war for 3 years between 1967 and 1970. If this continues, there will be another civil war in Nigeria. And this time around, no place will be safe in Nigeria. This time around, nobody will be safe in Nigeria. So it is imperative that everybody who has the interest of the country at heart acts now and immediately to stop this nonsense from continuing.
And they decided to label him an enemy of the criminals who have incarcerated a lot of you. So Obaseki was talking as a party man. And from what he said and mentioned, I don't think any of them is going to be new to you. But I will make them make meaning to you like I do always. APC, Egbekegbe, they came in with the message of hate, division, vile, and they planted the seed and it germinated. And they have been flourishing, watering it to make sure that it remains so, because somehow it helps contribute to the fear that they created which brought them into power in the first place. So if you ever speak up, even as a victim of their own misgovernance, you are not considered a Nigerian. So they managed to put a wedge, a further wider, bigger wedge in between already divided country, coming out of the most divisive elections ever in Nigeria history, 2015. APC, Egbekegbe, then demarcated the citizens. If you dare complain, you are a wailing wailer. And if you continue to complain, then you are an enemy. If you don't like APC, Egbekegbe, as a Nigerian, then you are the enemy of the country. So now they were able to segregate the entire country even further, while they continue in their mismanagement, corruption, and insecurity. So this level of a division helped them to further their whatever agenda, which has now shown that it is actually not Nigeria agenda. Nigeria agenda should be something that unites the people, that brings them together. After elections, right, it should all be able to come together. And the actions of those who manage to get the power will prove if you are going to be together or not. But APC, Egbekegbe from 2015, if you speak up, even if Fulani terrorists comes to your village and they burn down your village, the APC vuvuzelas, they will say it is fake news. You are trying to because you don't like Boko Haram, you are trying to discredit them. Now, this is how much, this is how they have managed to further divide the country. So people lost most interest in Nigeria ever recovering. Now, that allowed them to further their damages. The first 4 years, ladies and gentlemen, like if you have to look back and say, okay, let's see them on record. The first 4 years of these criminals, right? This was what Nigeria was before them, right? And then this is what Nigeria became with them. Poverty has become a thing of pride for the Lagos Abobakus, the Buhari Deans, the Buhari Diderins, forgetting the fact that all the consequences of the actions of these criminals are not limited to those who are not supporting them, including those who are supporting them. 53,000 Nigerians, almost 54,000 Nigerians lost their lives in the hands of these terrorists in government. So they ruined the economy, destroyed your naira, ruined their, dipped you in serious debt. But they don't feel worried about anything. These are pointers. Today, different parts of Nigeria are now agitating, demanding for an immediate and urgent national conversation to determine if people still want to be part of this whole arrangement, right, or not. Something that they said if you continue to ask, it's going to be war. And they have been killing people, making people disappear for asking. Now, APC, Egbekegbe, has pushed people to the wall. The point at which people have never really been ever in the history of Nigeria. So when Obaseki was talking from the position of a politician, is telling us some of the fear that some of them also nurture behind the scene, even if they put up a face or put up different faces, a facade, in public, when they have a chance of telling themselves, where is this country going? Where do you think this is going to head? How long do you think the people will realize that everything has collapsed? How long do you think people will realize that there is actually no country, no resource, no nothing to govern any country anymore? How long will people realize that part of Nigeria are no longer in control of Nigeria anymore? Nigeria is no longer in control of some part of Nigeria anymore. How soon will people realize? And then how long will they now be tired of the whole lie? How soon or how long is it going to end? Is Nigeria going to end up as Venezuela, not without any sanctions, so not because, I'm sorry, not with any sanctions from anywhere, but because of the mismanagement, the tribal, the religious, the divisive, and bigoted, what I would say, the bigoted party called the APC, because I'm actually like thinking of other things to use to like smaller words that will probably make some meaning to you. But anyway, so Obaseki is trying to say, hey, whatever happened, once Tifnumbu APC Egbekegbe continues, the breakup of Nigeria can now be confirmed to be possible. So is he a Yoruba man that will break up Nigeria? Listen to Obaseki. I'm going to come back and begin to kind of give you an idea of when the shit will hit the fan. Once the water hit the fan, it will splash and it will touch everyone, and they will no longer be able to put up the lies. Some of you don't know that those in charge of Nigeria right now, they have emptied Nigeria to the point that even they themselves, the money they printed and they spent, they can't account for 21 trillion naira. They have to spread the debt for 40 years. Omo, I think we should listen to Obaseki. The credit for this clip goes to the channel's television, by the way, and you can really watch the full clip on their channel, on YouTube and elsewhere. You probably have a connection to them. But this part where Obaseki said Nigeria will break up after 2023. Listen.
That this will be an easy election for us if we campaign right. Because honestly, we must be. Our heads should be examined as citizens of Nigeria if we even contemplate voting for a government like APC. In fact, like I said, God forbid APC comes into power. This country will break up. This country will fail. It has already failed. Because, nobody has done the kind of damage the APC government has done to this country. I don't know how we will recover. I honestly don't. For us, my heart is beating that by the time President Atiku gets in, we will not be able to sleep day and night. As I speak to you today, the debt of this country, of our country, is going to 60 trillion. When are we going to get out of it? Every day, every month, they are printing. When I spoke more than a year ago, I did not know it was as bad as this. What they have done, what will happen to the Naira, only God will help us. They have destroyed the basis of this country. Now they are shouting, everybody has withdrawn children from school. Nobody's going to work or school in Abuja today because there's a threat. That is what they have done. They have threatened the existence of this country. And by the grace of God, our candidate will win. We will bring back to Nigeria. We will unify this country. We will reduce the differences we have. And we'll begin to build our country to what God said we should be. This election is also very, very important for us in government. We cannot be in opposition again. If you are opposing something that is good, you know. But you can't be opposing something that is bad. So this election is ours to lose. Because I don't see any other person in the horizon. People who say they are obedient, of course, let them be, but they will run out of steam. We know how to manage elections. How many people have been able to do what we are doing? They can't even form their campaign council, not to talk about having a timetable for elections. You get it? So this election is ours to lose, and by the grace of God, we will not lose it. We now need to quickly set up our own.
Sorry, say obedience self-collect. He said you will lose steam. You know, I've told you, the obedient. I said, if you can keep your momentum and maybe organized better than now, right? And you keep this team till December, the likes of Obaseki will probably have to have a lot to worry about. But for APC, Egbekegbe, and people destroying people, in a way, they are those who probably have a chance of continuing. So Obaseki was talking as a PDP man, like I said. But what he didn't probably fully go into, like he said that when he raised the alarm a year ago that Nigeria is printing money. Are you with me? And they were printing this money to share. It's not that they are printing it for anything that is productive. That he didn't know that is this bad. From 1960 that Nigeria got independence to 2015, before APC, Egbekegbe came in, Nigeria printed, Central Bank of Nigeria printed a total of 300 billion naira in total as a credit for the government of Nigeria for those period. We are talking about 55 years. For 55 years, Central Bank of Nigeria printed a total of 300 billion as money to borrow, to lend to the government of Nigeria. But between 2015 and 2022, this year, within 7 years of APC, Egbekegbe, Central Bank of Nigeria have printed over 21 trillion naira. And do you know what they printed the money for over the period? Nigeria was losing money to oil thieves in Niger Delta. We are talking about millions of barrels every month, 700,000 a day. I mean, if you multiply 700,000 barrels times 30 days, is that not 2.1 million barrels in a month? That's a lot. No, what am I saying? That's 21 million. What am I saying? That's 21 million barrels in a month stolen conveniently from Nigeria. Nigeria was losing money. NNPC in Nigeria, with the little they said they were selling, right? They already created a loophole for it, subsidy payments. So they have nothing to deliver back. So whenever they manage to deliver anything and say, okay, well, this is what we made from the crude sale, it's never enough. That is where Emefiele comes in. Remember that when you put every money in that jar, when they rob all the Peters and it is time to pay Pauls, they put all the money in a jar and they call it federal allocation. Now, when they put all this money together, it's not even enough to share. So they have to go to Emefiele Central Bank. Please, we need you to print so amount of money. So Emefiele has been printing money for them and they have been sharing it. They've been printing money for them and they have been sharing it. And guess what? That has contributed hugely to the inflation you are suffering in Nigeria today. That's not even enough to back up their naira, because everything they touched died. That's what happened. So they wrecked the economy in that aspect. That's not all they did. When you look at what's the consequence, the repercussion of the increased insecurity in Nigeria, the terrorism in Nigeria, and the attitude of APC, Egbekegbe, towards the terrorists, you will understand that the wreckage, the damages, and the havoc they are wrecking everywhere shows that they have the backing of the APC, Egbekegbe. So what does that tell you? It has contributed so much to the food inflation in Nigeria, where farmers have been slaughtered in their thousands, and others have been chased completely away from their farmlands. And for those who stayed back in another part of northern Nigeria, they have decided to work for the terrorists who have taken over their villages, their communities. In order to stay alive, they have decided to work as modern slaves on their own land, cultivating the land, harvesting it, and giving them all to the terrorists who have taken over the areas. On record, that is happening right now. They shut the border. They told you they are growing rice, they are doing this or that. Sadly, it's just about to get worse, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get worse. You know why? Now you have flood everywhere. The flood has destroyed more than nearly 500,000 acres of farmlands, where people have invested billions of their own resources in trying to help in balancing the food crisis in Nigeria with the Boko Haram terrorism, and there is no end in sight, as well as this flood that has happened, and there's also no provision to cover for that as well. There is a gloom ahead. So Obaseki knows what he's talking about. In 7 years, ladies and gentlemen, right? After their, I told people, I said, one thing is this. When we say there's no difference between APC and PDP, we are right. Here is the point. When people destroying people had their chance, they were so power drunk that they publicly came out and said they were going to rule Nigeria for the next 60 years. But for 16 years, they couldn't put Nigeria on the real democratic track, something that should have started with banning and throwing away that trashy 1999 constitution, which on its own, right, is an affront, an insult to the indigenous people of Nigeria, who had no single say in every word that they put in that book, but they are obliged to obey every nonsense put in there. Now, PDP had that chance, and probably if they had done the right thing, right, they could possibly have reduced the tension that APC, Egbekegbe, have managed to use the same fraudulent book to perpetuate today. But have they learned anything? Of course they haven't. The remaining relic of people destroying people, which is also going to run with the relic of APC, Egbekegbe Al-Qaeda People's Congress, is as begotted as a pure reminder of what APC is, as well as what PDP is. No difference, oh. They are unifier, ladies and gentlemen, for 2 minutes.
We Northerners always think about Nigeria more than other parts of the country. This is simply because we are multi-ethnic and multi-religious. There is no any other ethnic group in the Southwest other than Yoruba. There is no any other ethnic group in the Southwest other than Igbo. So that's why they identify themselves as Igbo nation, Yoruba nation, whatever nation they call themselves. But in the North, what are you going? You can only identify yourself as a Northerner because we are multi-ethnic and multi-religious. Multi-ethnic and multi-religious. When you come to, you gave an example of grazing or open grazing. One, I am a manufacturer of livestock feeds, from cattle to poultry. Two, I have more than 1,000 heads of cattle. They have never moved out of one location. So it's simply introducing modern methods of looking after our livestock. No more, no less. I had a very big quarrel with the governor of Otom on his accusation of Fulani, this Fulani, that. Big quarrel with him. I say, I'm Fulani. Why should you categorize all Fulanis? And he admitted even his own ethnic group are stealing his own cow. I said, then why are you not calling all thieves? They are all thieves also. So, it's just that we have to improve on the way and manner we look after our.
It is because so many of you listen to them. You call them elder leaders. You set yourselves up for these dishonest people to talk trash, rubbish, and in the same sense, the same way, expose the real them, which you don't need any interpreter, you don't need any explainer, you don't need anybody to break anything down for you. Just listen, and then you will know. And so you will see through their emptiness. And when they have nothing to say, because of their emptiness, they quickly play that card, religious and tribe. But it's actually a liar. One of the reasons why APC, Egbekegbe, is unpopular in southern Nigeria, apart from their failure, corruption that they have come to legalize, is because majority of the agents of APC, Egbekegbe, they have come up with different lies in defense of the armed Fulani terrorists in Nigeria. Among them, they have tried, in order for them to blackmail you from talking about it, yeah, they have tried to make you to make your legitimate position look like you are trying to blackmail all Fulanis as the ones who are killing people, which is not true. There are Fulanis everywhere, of course. You have your Fulani elite, of course. And then you have your Fulani regular normal people like every other tribe in every other part of Nigeria that people actually knows. But we are talking about the armed Fulani terrorists who are kidnapping and killing people. And they said they are doing so because they needed to feed their cows. So when they try to change that conversation, it's because they wanted to hide the truth. And that is not different from what Atifku just said right now is not different from where the position of those who have been defending and backing APC. Egbekegbe. So when they tell you they want to come and unify Nigeria, they are lying to you. Atifku said he has thousands of cows, Abi, and they are not going anywhere. But Atifku, who also defends the Fulani terrorists, is using the legitimate ones, like those ones that they told us are the normal Fulani others, who have locations that they are staying, Abi. But what Atifku, the liar Atifku, as well as Bokwari and Tifnumbu and the rest of them, who have managed to hide all of this from you, what they are not saying is that they told us publicly, they said, listen, people are stealing the Fulani cows, okay? And in defense, they have to carry guns, AK-47, okay? So, if they are now caught in armed robbery or kidnapping, what should happen to them? If their defense, starting with, they need to protect themselves and protect their cows, that's why they are carrying AK-47. The Fulanis in your cities everywhere, even you watching me right now, that you are a Fulani man or a Fulani young woman, and you are currently living in the southern part of Nigeria, doing your own business, doing your own thing, are you walking about with AK-47 to protect yourself? So we are talking about the armed terrorists in our forest, whose the only solution proffered by the Al-Qaeda People's Congress in 7 years, the solution that they have been, they have been proposing to end terrorism is that people should give up their lands. The reason why they are kidnapping you or killing people is because they need to feed their cows. And because of the climate change in northern Nigeria, the whole place is becoming a desert, so they can't feed their cows and they need to move down south. And because people are not welcoming them very well, that is why they are now killing people. The only solution is, can you just let's give them some space of land so that they can have access to this place and feed their cows and they can stop kidnapping you. That was their defense, so don't ever forget to. And these are the Fulani terrorists we are talking about. So when politicians want to play their dirty game and they say, people should stop blaming Fulanis, like generalizing. Nobody is generalizing. What brought generalization at the end of the day is the lies. The lie from people like Atifku, the lies that APC, Egbekegbe told for years. They told us, those who are killing our people in Ekiti, Ondo, Oyo, Ogun. They told us repeatedly that they were those from Libya, Chad, Niger, Cameroon. They were not Nigerians. And we're asking them, how did they cross the border? How did they get into Nigeria? How come they have not been arrested? How come you are defending them? How come you want to give them cattle colony? How come you are asking for grazing route for those who cross the border and start killing Nigerians? They then came up with something. They said, we have to do something called the waterway bill, so that they can now seed all the waterways in Nigeria, and then 10 miles from the river banks and water banks, from every water path in Nigeria, 10 miles from those those river bank or water bank, right, will become the space reserved for the waterway law that will then accommodate the killers of Nigerians. Remember that. And people were saying, listen, if you want to go into farming, for example, that is private. If governments have any provision to support farmers, whether you want to grow food or go grow crops, or whether you want to raise animals for food, husbandry, whether you want to go into poultry, or whatever you want to go into, in all this farming, that is an industry on its own, a huge one. Now, if you go into any of it, right, that is your business, right? Now, if you have any problem that government should support you, then you don't kidnap and kill people for that. And government doesn't have to shut down to satisfy killers who were into business of cow rearing. I mean, you want to rear cows, Abi? Or you want to rear goats, or you want to rear chicken? You want to go into all of this? Those are private, Abi. How come that became a national security problem? Because it is not about cows. It is not about, it is about the agenda of ensuring that in the future, it will become nearly impossible without bloodshed, war, to actually break up Nigeria, because they are bringing in the people they told us were killing us because we refused to let them graze their cows. Now they want to cede our land to them. That is the policy of APC. That is the policy of Tifnumbu. As he himself said, the government needs to, in order to douse the tension, government needs to invest and give them money, give them land. You know what I mean? If they get, okay, if the problem is buying the land, Tifnumbu is proposing, then government will buy the land for them. You can't have land that you are not using, and you are scared to get other people who want to use the land for cattle, for ranching. So government of Nigeria, to placate terrorists, they are making it a national policy. To placate terrorists, Fulani terrorists, they are making it a national policy that the government of Nigeria will have to budget billions of your money, and at the same time, hundreds of thousands of the acres of your land, until they resettle them, gazette them, and they become indigenous. Now, I don't know how that is a solution. It is just like kicking the can down the road. Do you get what I mean now? And that's one of the reasons why Nigeria is breaking up. So the same Atifku, he has the same agenda. In case if you are just joining us, Listen to him once again and tell me about the unifier, somebody like this.
We Northerners always think about Nigeria more than other parts of the country. This is simply because we are multi-ethnic and multi-religious. There is no any other ethnic group in the Southwest other than Yoruba. There is no any other ethnic group in the Southwest other than Igbo. So that's why they identify themselves as Igbo nation, Yoruba nation, whatever nation they call themselves. But in the North, what are you going? You can only identify yourself as a Northerner because we are multi-ethnic and multi-religious. Multi-ethnic and multi-religious. When you come to, you gave an example of grazing or open grazing. One, I am a manufacturer of livestock feeds, from cattle to poultry. Two, I have more than 1,000 heads of cattle. They have never moved out of one location. So it's simply introducing modern methods of looking after our livestock. No more, no less.
So what is the modern method? By resettling killers, murderers. And it is just not that. The greater goal is to one day have a senator, and it will be Ibn Musa Al-Banawi, senator representing Ogun, Midwest, senatorial zone. And this genuinely, as much as you would probably say, oh yeah, maybe that's how it should be, that people should be able to be, Nigerians and everywhere and all that, you would think the intention would be like, no. For 62 years, Nigeria has been run as a sort of segmented colony. And everybody, although many people are just realizing their own place in what Nigeria actually represents today, others are yet to find out. But the country has always been ruled in a segmented sort of a colony style. And you know what I mean. Everybody knows their own category. You know your level when it comes to Nigeria. And from where you come from determines, where your level be. If they pass your boundary, there are those that are actually going to quickly cut you down because you are not one Nigeria. You are many Nigerias. And APC made that happen. Everybody now knows better in a way. So Atiku is not coming to be anywhere different. Same way with Tifnumbu. But let's go back to that part of economy. Somebody captured where Tifnumbu was advising what should be done on the economy. And this is it. I mean, I should be feeling sorry for some of you, but I shouldn't at the same time.
If we reduce the purchasing power of the people, we can further slow down the economy. Let's widen the tax net. Those who are not paying now, if it is inclusive of Bola Tinubu, let the nets get bigger and we take in more taxes, and that is what we must do in the country.
They were saying that Lagos was bankrupt. Can you believe that? The Lagos was bankrupt, and it was Tifnumbu who lifted Lagos out of bankruptcy. So he was now giving them an idea of how he's going to help you with your economy. He said we can slow this down, and then we need to widen the net. You don't widen the net of taxpayers if you can't create jobs. In 7 years, right? APC, Egbekegbe, took the Nigerian unemployment figure from 10 million to what is today over 80 million unemployed Nigerians. That has now reduced drastically those who are like a normal, who should be normal taxpayers. Do you get that now? And the agenda right now is that they will print more money. Your economy will further tank, and possibly, like Keyamo said, whatever you go through, you will have to go and blame PDP. Again, they said the reason why Buhari didn't fulfill his promises to you in 7 years is because PDP caused recession in Nigeria. I mean, you might think it's a joke. It's not. Listen to Keyamo.
Statements that the presidential candidate made in 2015. Take a listen.
We will give you student loan. Our program, 4 years will be 4 years. You will not extend before 4 years to graduate in a university. By the time, on your 4th year, you will be taken through that critical part.
Senior Advocate, where are the student loans today? That was in 2015.
I think the roadmap and the foundation is being laid. Let me tell you why. Because, you see, you also need to ramp up revenues first and make them available for people and for students to tap into that revenue base. And that way we're talking about revenue now, how to ramp up those revenues. Don't forget that when we came in 2015, and this is a significant point I want to make, I want everybody to fact check me as I speak. In 2014, no less a person than Okonjo-Iweala, who was then Minister of Finance, told everyone that we're headed to recession. So it's not we did not give that excuse. It was a PDP government that said at the time they were living that the country was on a downward slide towards recession. And that was in 2013 and 2014. Now, what happened, therefore, was that we came in and met that recession, and then the country slid into recession. But because of the deftness of the handling of the economy, we came out of the recession faster than even the IMF predicted. And also the second recession, we came out faster than they predicted. That we now met low oil production that dropped to 700,000 barrels per day, at times 600,000 barrels per day, when we should have been on 2.3 million barrels per day. We met those problems on the ground. So there was a problem of revenue, but the dream remained alive. The dream to fulfill these promises are still alive today as we begin to ramp up our revenues and rescue the economy from where PDP left the economy. And that is where we are now. So you can
Senior
see
Advocate,
that
a couple of issues.
The sound bites.
Right.
The sound bites you just played now shows the... Yes, go ahead.
You can land quickly just because of time. You said it shows the... The
sound bite you just showed now is a further promotion of our candidate because it shows his consistency of thought.
All right, so let's break it down.
About it then in 2014.
Let's break your response down.
Talking about it now too.
Right, so let's break your response down.
Thoughts.
You said that the former Minister of Finance said in 2013 that there was going to be a recession. Your candidate made that statement in 2015 January. Being aware of those statements made that Nigeria was getting into recession. Yet he made that promise to thousands of young people, in fact, maybe millions who were listening at that time. So that's on the one hand. So if he made that promise at that time, it's almost 8 years now, no students loan. What is the assurance, really, that the one he's making now, that in 7 years to come, there will be a reality? And you said that your government meant 700,000 barrels of crude at that time. Well, that is not true, at least according to the OPEC figures. This government was doing, as at May 2015, was doing between 1.6 million and 1.9 million barrels per day.
By the end of 2015, production dropped. Go and fact check me. End of 2015, early 20, there was disruption in production in the Niger Delta region. So everybody can fact check me. It dropped.
You said it dropped to 700,000, and I'm giving you the figures of what your government meant when you came in. 1.6 million, 1.7 million. In fact, the price of crude at that time, when your candidate said it was at the lowest, was about $60-something. Not at the lowest. The lowest has been $25 in the 20 years that we've seen.
So, I'm telling you to fact check me that when we came
I just did that when you came in, it wasn't $700,000.
But you were saying May. You are mentioning May 2015.
And I gave you June as well. June was 1.7 million.
And I'm telling you that
That's when you came in. If you're not taking May, I'm giving you June. Over. Yes, so June is 1.7 million barrels per day.
Yes, yes. When do you plan your budget? When was our first budget planned? Our first budget was a 2016
is
budget.
Pointedly at the statement you made that you made $700,000 per barrel. Sorry, 700,000 barrels per day.
It dropped. No, don't misquote me. When we took over, it dropped to 700 because of disruption of production. And I want everybody to fact check you and I.
I just did. I just gave you the figures when you came in, but in order not to belabor the point.
I'm telling you that the budget. Look, listen. The first budget we planned was a 2016 budget. And that 2016 budget was based on $700,000 production. And
ladies and gentlemen, the only time that Nigeria oil production, right? I bet some of you actually know this anyway. I kept saying it when they came in from 1.9 million per barrel in a day, dropped down to 800. The lowest he ever got down to was 800,000, but that was when they have increased the scale of distilling. In 2015, Nigeria was losing about 40,000, 50,000 barrels of their crude oil to thieves in Niger Delta. Yeah? And in a space of 7 years, Nigeria started losing over 700,000 barrels to thieves in Niger. Do you know the countries who are receiving the oil? I'm still coming back to Otobokeyamo. India alone, as at 2018, India alone, they have received over 226,352,489 barrels of stolen crude oil from Nigeria since 2015. Between 2015 and 2018, in 3 years, India alone, they received over 226 million barrels of stolen crude oil from Nigeria. Here is another one. This is hang on, where's that? Yeah, this is Netherlands. This is Europe here in Europe. Netherlands alone, in 3 years of APC, they have received over 153,921,161 barrels of crude oil stolen from Nigeria in 3 years. Now, just last 2 weeks or so, Nigeria discovered that, from 1.9 million, now they need to fight those who are stealing Nigerian crude oil. Suddenly, they started discovering loading points here and there. And when they finally found a vessel that is laden with stolen crude oil, instead of them to just give us as evidence and trace them, you know what they did? They burnt it to burn the evidence. So imagine, India alone, I will do this math with you. Let's do it together. In 3 years that India took stolen crude oil of over 200 million barrels from Nigeria, put it at $100 per barrel. How many zero are you going to add? That means India alone, they have stolen over $20 billion worth of crude oil from Nigeria in a space of 3 years of APC. The number that suddenly increased the moment they came in. Same thing with everything they touched. Same thing how they destroyed the Naira when they started their kickbacks with the CNN. CBN, Central Bank. So imagine 153 million barrels. That simply means that Netherlands alone have taken over $15 billion worth of stolen crude oil from Nigeria. Now look at it this way. If India should be fined and they pay their money, 20 billion, and then the Netherlands is fined and they pay their money, 15 billion, and other countries who have taken the stolen crude oil in the last 7 years from Nigeria, do you know that the debt of Nigeria, which APC dipped you into right now, that is going to cost the next 40 years of poverty? This is not a joke. What they have done to you, the next 40 years, poverty is still going to be a serious problem in Nigeria. I'm talking about if not worse. So now, if Kolu, APC, Egbekegbe continues as they are doing, unchallenged, right? You know what will happen? You will multiply that by 2. That would then make it 80 years of generational poverty and agony. It may not make sense to you, but you probably will have to find a way and make sense out of it. Nigeria is in debt of over $120 billion right now. And that has contributed to the collapse of your currency, Naira. The main forex, the main resources that you are using to back up your forex, which they have not built anything as well since they discovered crude oil. Now that crude oil has been mismanaged, stolen. Now, if those who have stolen your crude oil, if they are allowed, if they are all pressure to pay back, you probably will be getting more than $100 billion. That is in the hands of those who are promising you a better Nigeria because of your own gullibility. Gullibility. Just think about that. Now, some of you think, oh, they say, Maiyegun, you think too much. Of course, I do think too much because there's so much to think about. Just reason that one for a minute. Make a drink tea. Sorry about that. Let's say they pay up. And at the same time, don't forget that the stolen crude oil on record in Nigeria before 2015 was 40,000 to 50,000 barrels stolen. When APC Egbekegbe came in, the number jumped to over 700,000 barrels every day. 21 million barrels stolen every month. So if you now multiply that by 7 years, then you understand why India alone, they got over 220 million barrels of stolen crude oil. You will understand the figure. They are the biggest. Netherlands is second. There are other countries too. If me, we sit down here, can get that information, imagine a government like in Nigeria, because they know, now them. Do you need another explanation, another excuse? So, when the day will come and the and the words of the likes of Obaseki will come to pass, I just want to be on the right side of history. And I hope you will be on the right side too. So for us, on the the Temple of Truth, we'll continue to speak it out until many of you will realize that none of this that they are doing is in your interest. I know those who are from Oshogbo today, they will disagree with me. They said that they will give you student loan, and your parents, your sisters, your brothers, and every one of them, they believe them. Just like they showed up in Oshogbo today. Watch this. Like I said, I am just a teacher. You can call me a teacher who want to hold your hand, right? And point them to the right direction. But you know, the moment I leave the hand, you may probably pull it back and change the direction. So I am not responsible for how you manage what we share or discuss on Maiyegun's Diary Politico. They are just there. They are there. Everything you listen to me, everything you listen to on Maiyegun's Diary Politico every night or every now and then, they are stocking up somewhere. They are there saving somewhere. And you see that's a dark part that Nigeria has managed to build in you over the years that is presently suppressing it and all that. One day you're going to remember everything I've told you because they're going to be useful. You're going to remember and say, well, I've heard this from somewhere before. I heard this somewhere before. And that would be from Maiyegun's Temple of Truth. So this year, we said we were going to not just talk about what is going on. Remember, we are also going to make more efforts to put boots on ground and help our people who are indeed who have seen the light and the resources to make them forge on and push on until more and more people get this message to the point that they can then stand up and say enough, we are done. Say that in mass. So we took that decision this year. We have always been part and parcel of most of those who have kind of given up their own liberty in a way to pursue what they say is the supposed freedom for all of us, especially those of you who are currently like endangered in Nigeria, so to say. So on Maiyegun's Diary Politico, we put our resources together months ago. I kind of like they say in Yoruba, Arishe Larika, Arika Onibaba Iregun. On this platform, we have touched lives. And at the same time, we have managed to spread our own message, the message of that hope that they are trying to blind you off or from, yeah? And we have been doing it solo and then a gradual, slow, but steady. So on this platform, we agreed that an organization that we call the Yoruba Union will now be the vehicle that we can all kind of associate with, build a community around, online and offline, and then make our presence known physically to the people that are really going to be the ground movement that we eventually usher in that most dreamt freedom from this contraption called Nigeria. Most people said the most important revolution that we actually need to keep working on is the mental revolution, the mind revolution, the mind that is fed with the right information, and at the same time, the same souls that get the support even when they probably are in their own most vulnerable period. Now, if we want to be present in the lives of the people that we want to be to be with us as well, then we must make it more physical. That's what we said on Maiyegun's Diary Politico, and we started acting on that. So I can call this an update. The update that Yoruba Union, we are taking our we're taking our advocacy, our awareness and campaign we're taking it a little bit further than where we were before now. We have done the public, we've done the publicity of the billboard, raising the awareness. Why? No matter what they promised you, no matter what lies they have cooked to tell you that Nigeria can still work, no matter what you choose to believe in them, we have done our own homework very well. Apart from you having to help give lifeline to the criminals who brought you to this stage, right? I'm talking about the ones who have brought you to a stage of you having to choose. Do you want to give Nigeria another chance? Or it is better, for the sake of our own lives, for the love of Nigeria, to put more pressure in a way that everyone can actually go their separate ways peacefully, in a way that the politicians that are keeping Nigeria for themselves, they can possibly go and look for something else to do with their lives. How do you get this message and this information into the heart and mind of those who have been saddled with oppressive system that they have only known all their lives? That takes a lot of work In this case, we have continued to raise more and more people that will come together and help us make this a permanent general grassroots mobilization. So, with the team, you remember when with the last, the last conversation we had on this, we said we needed to establish our organization in that Nigeria, give it some little legal, some legal footings, okay? So, and then we can then go ahead and start intervening and then helping some of our people who are also the victims of the system that some of them have sworn to die defending, with the right information from the right people, with the right motivation. We believe that we can turn the tide, and in support, as an extra support for those who have been in the trenches, facing the fire in the hands of this repressive, oppressive terrorist system in Nigeria. People deserve to know. People need to know they have choices. Like, enough of the period where politicians will continue to tell you that they have figured it out and there's nothing that can break Nigeria. People are still saying that they don't believe Nigeria will ever break up. But listen to me, okay? It is not just what we do that will make that happen. It is what they are doing that will continue to bring to reality that the only option we have, that they are telling you to ignore at the end of the day, is to let everybody go their separate ways. Obaseki is saying, if Tifnumbu wins, Nigeria will break up. It's not far from the truth, though. And this is not about Tifnumbu. It is about the repressive system that has alienated our own citizens, and it has opened enough broken walls, gaps between the citizens themselves that are, on their own failure. The citizens have decided to figure out the best way out of the entire imbroglio or so, yeah? And APC, Egbekegbe, made that happen. Your prayers, your tricks, your lies, your propaganda, they can only hold Nigeria just a little bit more, but it won't be for long. APC did what the past rulers of Nigeria have been able to hold together. APC undid them in 7 years. What do you think will happen if they have a chance of another 8 years? So it's not going to be what Maiyegun wants only. It's not going to be about one Nigeria that you want. What happens is that their every move and action continue to push the indigenous people of Nigeria to begin to look for themselves and fight for their own base and defend themselves and continue to ask the questions that why are we still part of a country that we can't even have a right to defend ourselves? And at the same time, we are at the mercy of those who don't give a damn about us. So they are doing the job already. What we are doing is to make sure that the people understand why it is in your own interest. And breaking up of Nigeria is not war. Referendum is not war. Now, the criminal politicians who have no other jobs, they have no real education, they have no real skill. What they know all their lives that they have built career upon is to what? Is to feed fat from the public purse. And even if that same public is bleeding, to them, it doesn't matter. As long as the crumbs, the bread keeps coming, and they have enough to share for their vuvuzelas here and there, they can always cook the propaganda to give you hope that they know they have no capacity of giving to you. So we need to continue this grassroots education. And that is why on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, my friends here, we came together. We pull our resources together, and we have been making our own statements in our own subtle and clearer way. So this time around, on this platform, from what we have in our savings, there's one thing about us on this platform, and that is we don't always want to run out of money. It is so important that keeping custody of people's money is on its own a huge responsibility that requires its own skill. So on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, as much as we are very reduced, because of us waiting on the team back in Nigeria, in Yoruba land, to help us solidify, the old team, and then as well as the legal foundation that will make their work easier. All our plans have been tabled here, the Yoruba Union. So it starts from the yorubaunion.org, a platform where the interested Yoruba sons and daughters, home and abroad, are converging. We built that on this platform. We built one that we call the Yoruba Rescue Fund, the one we currently put on the shelf, pending the time that I will finish all the security settings and set up on our platform, when we can then begin to activate the rescue fund. But presently, we have managed to build a platform that we call the Yoruba Union. And you can access this as a Yoruba man or woman anywhere in the world, where you can meet other Yorubas whose only interest is how can we mobilize ourselves world over, organize ourselves as we have been doing, and maintain a cohesion, a common front that can make a serious impact in the lives of our own people, that will eventually lead, among other people as well, among other groups, that will eventually lead to the emancipation and the self-determination of the Yoruba race in Nigeria. A huge task that we believe that having a sort of a reliable, independent platform like ours is a beginning. It's sort of the beginning of what is still to come. A community that we hope will grow into millions as we expect. So presently, if you go onto the yorubaunion.org, you will be able to sign up. The information required of you are very simple. None of them is intrusive. None of them will ask you for any personal details. No, we haven't gotten to that stage yet. Presently, we are trying to make it more interactive, communicative, a place where you can send messages to yourselves, right? You can follow updates, and you can share updates as well. You can set up groups, and you can communicate within groups. You can set up location groups as well. The Yorubas in America, Yorubas in California, Yorubas in Dubai, Yorubas in South Africa, and on and on and on like that. So this platform will allow us to do that. And we can also reach out to ourselves through private messages like, how are you? My name is this. Oh, I check you out. Where are you located? Please don't share any personal information, location, and other things that you are not comfortable to share with people yet. Our plan is that when everything is finally sorted, right, then we'll be able to have a location and all those places that will eventually, identify you, and at the same time link you up with other Yorubas in your own location, wherever you are, in any part of the world. So we haven't gotten there. So that is what we have achieved on this platform. We paid to do that from our money. Not just that. We also, so far, I have told you that Princess, who is probably watching as well, she's been very, very, very helpful. One of the things that are keeping us a little bit, or keeping us on hold right now, is one, we don't have all the resources we need to really pursue the agenda of either the education support, economic support, food banks, health support, and a few other programs that we have in stock. Okay, so we don't have enough resources to do that yet. But with what we have managed to set up our own communication points, which means that at the moment this goes live fully, right, you will be able to ask questions, you will be able to make inquiries, you will be able to partner with this team back in Yoruba land as we speak. And as many of you have also volunteered to give us, whether houses, warehouses, or landed properties and all that, we're still going to get to that, because we are putting that team together to be legally qualified to engage you in those conversations where you want to support or wherever you want to be part of it, okay? However, we don't just want to keep quiet, okay? So with the resources we have, so far so good. I have released another fund. This time around, we are not using billboards, okay? We are going in a different way again to continue the awareness. And we are using these stickers. They said they're like the size of the number plate in Nigeria, car number plate. So we are now printing over 6,000 copies of that. So that cost us, or that has cost us presently 300,000 naira, which this platform has paid for. Now, in the next couple of days, there will be sort of distribution for this. The target is to start with 10,000 naira. I mean, 10,000 copies. But for now, we want to see that we begin to make this message sort of available at every corner, every turn, and every space, every car, and everywhere you turn around in Yoruba. Something that will bring this subconsciousness subconsciousness into your mind that will make you say, well, I read this somewhere, Yoruba Union referendum is the only way out. Wow, I read this somewhere, Yoruba Union, Yoruba Nation, and all of that stuff. They are the ingredient to plant this in the membrane or the memory of our people. So tonight, I am going to take a course, okay? And hopefully, Princess will be able to come on and possibly add her own voice. She's dying to, to put to use the 3 warehouses that we have currently been given. She herself has given us 2 different warehouses at 2 different locations. So when we get to a stage whereby all of us who are not going to be about, oh, I have money. I know it's not going to be about money only. It's going to be mainly about what do we have to share, and at the same time to help and warm our ways into the heart of the people that are being fed with lies, hopeless lies every day. We can't continue to condemn them. We can't continue to call them out when we are not actually doing anything on our own part to see how much we are doing to educate them, like for real, apart from this. This is the reason why we are doing this. And I'm going to open the line for that. So tonight, and tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, that we won't have something that will take all our time. So between now and then the end of this month, we are going to reopen back, or let's say we're going to continue our contribution, which means if we do well, we might be able to do something from the first week or second week of November, like we thought we would do in October. But yeah, we've got legal setback. But nevertheless, I think we should, in a way, do something. But it's up to you if you would likely have that happen. But tonight, I'm going to share that link again. That Give, Send, Go link. Now you can go back on it. For those who are regular users, who knows how to do that, okay? So you can go back on it now and support this program as you have always done. I'm talking to the donors now, okay? I'm talking to those who have always been part of this. Please do, and it is always voluntary. For everyone who might want to do theirs through the PayPal, please do. In the last 2 months, when we've had the chance of talking this similar conversation, in September to be precise, yeah, early September. So from that moment and now, we have been able to raise over 1,200 pounds sterling, right? And with 1,200 pounds sterling, that means we have raised nearly £1 million naira in the last 2 months, even though we haven't really concentrated on it. We haven't really talked much about it. But now, I think we should talk about it, and it's up to you if that is actually going to happen or not. But I'm going to take a break. When I get back, I'm going to share the link where you can make and drop your own support if you want to. And then I am also going to then take calls where others can also say 1 or 2 things, especially what we have shared so far. Thank you for your time, and don't go anywhere. When I get back, I'll take a few calls. I'll be back. Thank you very much, friends. So I have a caller, and fortunately, it happened to be the princess, the person who is in charge of what we are putting together back at home. Princess, báwo ni o?
Oh, I'm gentle.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening to you.
We said there, no, Maiyegun.
Anywhere, as usual.
Okay. Yeah. We are running a speaker. We are trying to get a speaker, and it is as big as the plate number, the number plate in Nigeria. You know.
Yeah, that's what the guy said.
We'll get these guys. These boys are always running around on the streets of Lagos with roller skates, you know. In a way, we'll be empowering them because àwọn lamako stickers there for come kakiri, they'll put it on vehicles, they'll put it, you know. We are going to have so many things like that, you know, like this tissue paper pack. We will do it in Yoruba Organization Union, yeah. We'll do that pack. People can put it in their cars and put tissue papers inside. And it will be there. There is this cover too that you put at the back of your car.
Those transparent.
At the rear mirror.
Right.
At the rear mirror. We can always go to the taxi parks and all that. We keep them, you know, and we just put it there. We just want them to keep driving these things around. You know, let people have the awareness that, okay, this is it. People know it is there. But majority of our people are going around. Don't tell àwọn LGBT. Don't tell our politicians because I watched a video. I think last week someone was saying, this because Yoruba nation months they when they see things like that, new and the maiden edition, if we are starting the maiden edition of this Yoruba organization, so widow, about widowers, our pensioner, whatever we are starting, we will be giving it out for free. And there's going to be announcements on radios, you know, we do radio jingles and all that, you know, so that our aware, okay, we are giving you food. Free food at so place. Oh my yawasi baby and subsequent ones we can subsidize it for them.
Yeah, the more we have
so
resources to do that, it's all about resources.
Yes.
So
Benny,
we'll be able to actually do them. But we just people need to know that we're on in the background. With the little we have been trying to manage that without having to empty everything. Because the moment we do that,
exactly,
then we can't really talk about any emergency anymore. I mean, like rushing out to say we need something. That's something we are trying to avoid. So yeah, it's going to be gradual, as we have said before. So, Princess.
Very, but and we are bringing some people on board. Yeah, I have employed someone running around. I've been paying from my own pocket. We have places we can, you know, we can sell our stuff. We have the factory.
Let me even ask you something, Princess. Last night, I saw a particular, particular channel or so on YouTube who was commenting on YouTube, and it was like a Yoruba Union organization. I'm like, is that you and your team or something like that? I don't know. Is that?
Yes, that's the number. That's our number.
Right.
The phones we got. You know, you sent money to me, Maiyegun.
Yeah. For the set.
If I can get the phone, Meiji. Yeah, so we have 3 numbers now. That we only reach one. So our plastic bag, our single plastic bag, number right. So it's part of the project because Tabache plastic bag, we are doing a very strong, durable one. Around. So big day around, is trying to spread the message. So I'm gonna spread message here, is the message that really matters. But táwọn èèyàn bá rí pé NGO ló fi bá wọlé fine. Okay, our people showing us offer. Well, yes, we have something to offer them. Do we have a message we are conveying to them? Yes, we do.
Right.
So they will fly with it.
Well, time will tell.
So gbogbo effort abale physical PC. All right, Baba.
Thank you very much, Princess. That's
yeah.
Ami, thank you very much. That's Princess. Stopping by to drop our own contribution on this. She's part of it. So most of you are going to have to speak to her for your inquiries, questions about what they are doing, and any way you can be of help. But the reasons why we haven't really made that contact public yet is because, we have to make sure that they are really ready to answer all questions. And then whatever can be done, or whatever they are doing, and wherever you can be of help. So they are putting the team together, and we need to show that we actually mean it when we said we will stand with them if they are ready to stand. So hello there. Hello. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I muted this. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Maiyegun, I'm here.
Baba, how are you, sir?
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yes, talks.
The original one, or not the dodgy one.
Sorry, sir. What did you say?
The original Olatokunbo, not the dodgy one.
Olatokunbo, okay. I've got many, but I know this particular one. Yeah. Philosopher.
Yeah.
My philosopher talks. Baba.
Right. I got on your show very late. Because I've been so busy today, and there are a few things happening where I am. Obviously, you see my number.
I did out of ordinary or out of control stuff. Are they?
No, yeah. Just normal.
Just the usual.
Yeah.
All right.
Just normal human life stuff, yeah.
Nice.
But I did that.
Go on.
I brought some things to your table when I said, look at the schematics of Kano, look at the population density and everything.
I remember.
I brought you then. So you did a show, I think, when was it? Was it yesterday? I can't remember now. Right. And I went back and I said, okay, let me take my time and look at these things via Google Maps that I've always said, Maiyegun, look at Google Maps. Mm-hmm. Let's look at it. Let's look at what is on the ground. To be honest with you, I don't know what we talked about tonight because I really got to your show very late. And I'm so happy that I came up with Princess came on.
Brilliant.
Maiyegun,
sir?
I looked at the flood that happened or is happening now in Igbo land, Anambra and everything. I've told myself, I now said to myself, let me look at it politically. I'm sorry that I'm not sure what you talked about. It was about
No. If that's something that could probably open another vista to what we have already discussed, we're interested. Go on.
Yeah, so because I've been thinking about it all day. I'm thinking, how can I reach Maiyegun? Okay, let me wait until the show comes on. So tonight, I'm just about to say, let me just go to bed. And I just check. Let me see if you're online.
Yeah, good.
Let me ask you a question. Let's look at it politically. The president of Cameroon is a Fulani man. Am I correct?
I am not 100% sure.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be able to fact check that. But go on.
Could it be, it's an assumption, not fact, it's an assumption.
Right.
Could it be that dam was opened politically and flooded Igbo land to displace so many people that they cannot vote? I'm not an obedient.
With what Nigeria has become, normally people won't rule that out. But if we all want to kind of, be real without having to, you know what I mean now? So we know that it won't be the first time. It won't be the second time. And it's not looking like it's going to be the third time. But the political part of it is, with what we have presently, right? It's like it's inevitable. It's unavoidable.
Yeah.
For the past 3 years, right, they've never released this much. And the water is rising. But I would love to actually listen to your theory.
Maiyegun,
sir.
what you said there, they have never released this much. Why now? When I saw Ladgo Dam,
Lagdo Dam,
and they released that water, I said, this is madness. It's too much. Now they've displaced millions of people. Now that water would not recede in months. By the time they receive, people are looking to actually fix their own life back and forget, let us just keep the voting aside. Let me fix my own personal life. And they knew that that water was going down to Igbo land, that they cannot vote for Obi. Huh? I am a Yoruba man. I am Yoruba nation 1001%. But I'm just saying that.
Tell them about.
Can we just have this at the back of our mind and say, is it possible that they're discussing with their own counterparts in Cameroon and displace them so they cannot vote? I'm just saying,
but Baba, what about the economic ruin that the dam has caused? We are talking about nearly 500,000 plots of acres of farmland that have been washed off, food prices and all that. So
don't care. Maiyegun, you said it on your show that there's an economic jihad that is true. Stopping our people from going to
terrorists they have been prosecuting for years. I'm going to go to Lagdo Dam. People want to see what you're talking about. But continue.
Is this a bigger conspiracy? Let me use the word conspiracy to say, you know what? If they can't farm and they can't eat, they will have to bow down. It's what they did during the war. Yeah? The Biafra war. They stopped the food coming in.
Which was 3 million people of war at the time. You are right. And possibly people probably never believed that that could be deployed against the people during war in Nigeria, but they did.
Thank you. So I'm saying to myself that, hold on a second. Is this conspiracy coming to pass? They've seen what the Obedience have done. Now, let me ask a question. In 2015, when Buhari was doing a second term, whatever, or first term, I'm asking myself the question. We never had this flood. The second term, no flood. The third term, that APC, how do we lose? We can't lose. Decimate Igbo land. These people are riding around Nnamdi Kanu and what's called Peter Obi. Regardless of what the thing is, I listened to your show, was it yesterday, and said that whatever the case may be, why are they persecuting the Igbos? Igbo people are not bad people. My best friend is an Igbo man. My best friend is an Igbo man. Odogbolu Federal Government College, Odogbolu Lajolo.
Yeah, Baba.
Ask myself the question. Now, you release that water, and the volume you release was almost 10 or 20 times more than what you release.
What you normally release.
It's not normal. I saw houses buried. One story building buried. Now, those people that have got their PVC, Maiyegun, please, are they going to vote? Where are they going to vote?
Like,
now, when the water,
would they even be able to? Now, you know, one thing is that many of them have been displaced already, like internally displaced. So how would they even, like, to go
and vote? So, Maiyegun, it's just a theory. It's not a fact. And I know you, Maiyegun, you deal on facts. You understand, my brother? So you deal on facts, and this is a theory, but it might be something you want to investigate and say, hold on a second. Politico said this. I said the one about the shooting in Oyo State, on the church. I look at the schematics of the town. The church where they shot people in the town. Inside the town, there are 2 other Catholic churches externally or outside the town, which is close to the express road. That is where, if I was a bad person, I would say, let me go and do that so I can escape easily. But they keep people inside the town, and not one video came out. I'm telling myself,
not even an image and all that, yeah. And you know that that story has probably died now. They told us they've arrested this and that, but it was all
forget the hotel and everything. Now, I'm asking myself the question: why would you release this volume of water to displace people in Igbo land, and nobody's even coming to their aid? Whatever aid they get now, Peter Obi gave 5 or something million. Tinubu went now all the way to the Kano State to give them 100 million.
I know.
Now, Lagos.
And Lagos is also experiencing the same right now. You will see.
I saw the video of John Milan Bridge that water had gotten to a level where that almost this water don't enter terminal. Now they're living some of Ikoyi Lekki GI, where I grew up in, and they're telling me that Lagos is going to flood.
Princess sent me a video very close to the factory that she operates, right? And the water was coming, and they're like, they are now happy that the water is receding. So, you know, when they saw the sign, they were like, Oyon River, which is also being released, or your dam, right, which is also being released. That one is going to wreak havoc in those areas you mentioned now. But it will likely not be as huge as that.
I had a friend that has a fish farm. And I won't say where it's in, but you know where I am.
Yeah.
When they released Oyon, what they bathtub over there, unannounced, when they released it about 2 years ago, they released that down and it ruined so much. Now, Maiyegun, when you destroy so much acres of land for people to feed in Igbo land, part of the Yoruba land, Maiyegun, there's conspiracy. I'm not saying it's fact. Please don't get me wrong. It's not fact. But Maiyegun, please, if you can do the investigation, like I keep on telling that.
You know what Buhari said? You know what? Buhari just told them now that he give the minister 90 days to go and find solution to what happened. And this is Oyon Dam on your screen, Papa, which is for people to understand. I did something on that yesterday when I was talking about the dam. Yeah, the flood. Right?
I saw it yesterday. After 90 days is 3 months.
And that will be so close to the election, and the water will continue to be released, which means normally if they have to stop the water being released, right? Maybe, just maybe, the receding of the water can happen before January, because we are saying 3 months, as if to say it's actually far away. We are talking about a month to their election. They probably won't be conducting it there.
Maiyegun, can I say something? In 2004, when the tsunami happened in Thailand, the initial thing happened in Thailand. It took they have not recovered till today, and the water only went in over a mile into town and killed over 250,000 people in that tsunami.
I remember.
What has happened here now, Maiyegun, this is a major disaster because of some people's political gain. That is my own theory.
I believe.
I'm not saying it is. Maiyegun, if you can please do us an investigation. You know what? But lots of people said this. Everything I tell you is strategic. Look into it and say, you know what? Get it a logo.
At least Google here now. Thank you very much. Let me take another one. Nice one.
God bless you, my brother.
Nice one. Thank you so much. You. Yeah. So I want to say, meanwhile, my caller, can you hang on for me for a second? Just a quick one. I want to say thank you to my friends who have responded to my call. So far, so good. I can see the contributions are already coming in. For those who are asking that they can't use the PayPal and they can't use the online whatever, and they are in the UK, you can make use of this information, especially those of you who have done that before. So you, where is that? Hang on. Let me see if I can bring that up. Sorry, my caller, by the way. Right. So it says, here. So you can make use of this, which is a donation that is directly to the Diaspora Radio International account. And whatever goes in there, we know it is for this purpose. So do not worry. And you can even add a message to it as well. I figured that out before. So I don't know. Hello, my caller, are you there? Right. I think I lost him. So yeah, thank you so much to every one of you who have responded so far. Save this, use that, and add your own sort of a message that says, Maiyegun, this is for that, okay? And it indeed will be used exactly for what it is meant to be for, and the report will be given as well. Hello there.
Hello, my good general.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Well, I'm fine. Are you?
I'm very well. Thanks for asking.
We'll continue to thank you for saving lives. But your program, yes, this your program, you know what? The sensitization what he's really doing in the lives of our people. That's who cannot quantify it honestly.
Thank you very much for that.
I know that many people are keen in. As days goes by, the number is increasing, and surely one day, we'll get to the promised land.
We will get there.
Yeah.
That's good.
So secondly, I want to thank you so much for your contribution concerning the 1 million march for Maiyegun, the one we had on 16th and 17th. It was in Liverpool and London.
And God bless you as well for remaining steadfast in your own effort too, and everyone around London. Okay, so thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you. So it was a great success indeed.
It is.
When we had the protest and everywhere was public, people knew that yes, Biafrans were out, and IPOB is at the front of it all. So thank you so much, Maiyegun. Really appreciate that. Thirdly, I want to also to announce to Temple of Truth, this great platform.
Yes.
That the song I told them some time ago, titled "Run," R-U-N.
Yep.
Run. Yeah, Buhari is the kidnapper president. He kidnapped Politico in 1984.
Yes.
And in 2021, he kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya into Nigeria, and the world has confirmed it. The Nigerian court has confirmed it. So that is all in this song, which is already on all major social media platforms.
God bless you. You sent me a copy, and then I haven't really heard that yet. So, and I think it is time, now that it is public, so it is time for us to share that with everyone. So I'm going to bring that up some other time. Well done, by the way. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Maiyegun, just for the today's, I want the last speaker, Biodu, I think Biodu is his name. It said something about the flooding.
Yes, Olatokunbo is there in London as well.
Yes. Yes. One thing I want to say about what he said, what the guy is making sense, because you see, this APC Fulanized political party of Nigeria, any evil that they cannot do does not exist.
Does not exist, though.
You get what I'm saying?
And if it does not exist, they will create it.
They will manufacture it.
Exactly.
I'm telling you. So, buttress what Biodu was saying, Maiyegun.
Yes.
Recently, there's video going on, spreading online.
Yep.
About many trailers that is conveying goods from Lagos. Are coming down to the east. Many of them, about 10 to 20 of them, were stopped and set ablaze. Nothing was stolen from them. You understand? And these are goods that worth billions of naira. Yeah. What they did was to set it ablaze. You understand? And you see some of the car, almost all the trailers burnt up. So if you look at that, the antecedent, you see that this is a good step of the terrorism of the APC going on.
Witnessing. Something they don't want us to talk about. That's the point. They don't want us to talk about them. They said, no, don't talk about them.
What is the evidence of that, Maiyegun? They want to create a state of insecurity at all costs. You understand? But the foolishness of the guys
they will tell people and say, you know what, we can't let this country go like that because we need to save the country from the insecurity first before anything else.
Exactly.
So that's why we can't break up for now. Let's fix insecurity. Meanwhile, they actually created the insecurity because that's the source of their power. Insecurity and the fear.
Exactly. The foolishness that they refuse to understand is that the American gave a security alert. The other was it 2 days ago? They issued a security alert.
Yeah, they have told their staffs in Abuja that there is a potential terrorist attack on Abuja and some states in Nigeria. So they are managing, they are controlling their services now. They are now working skeletally.
Thank you very much. That is to tell you that whatever they are doing, whatever all their attack of terrorism, the world satellite is on Nigeria. They don't know what they are doing. Like what the way they planted all their foot soldiers that they brought from Africa to take over Nigeria by force.
Prince, you know one question I asked someone, I said, this question I'm asking you, at least I'm asking just like a sincere question, okay? So we have seen the damages that APC have done, and we have seen that they have made people to become so sort of aware, and people are suspicious of them, every of their move. Obaseki said Nigeria is going to break up when APC, if APC should continue with what they have done so far, it will be worse, and Nigeria may not survive it, Abi. Now, I told someone, I said, I'm asking you this innocent question, not because I wish you evil or anybody, Baba, as a Yoruba man, that you are ready to fight everyone, including your relative, everybody, like nothing they say, it no matter, Yoruba local. Let's say something now happened to Tifnubu, we can't continue. And Shetima, after a few months, Shetima become your president, and he started really acting what they intended for you. Like, would you still love Nigeria as a Yoruba man right now? You know what that person said? He said, Maiyegun, make I no lie you, Make I no lie you. I know, but the truth is this, make I no lie, If anything happen and Shetima become president, and Tinubu is no longer there, we'll break up Nigeria. I said, that was fast. I thought you would tell me that you will make sure that you resign or something happen. Maiyegun, no, let us lie to ourselves. Nobody like Nigeria. Some of them are currently saying Tinubu, because if anything should happen, they will say, now them kill him. Now Usafula need kill him or something. You know what I mean? Now, I said, so how many of you are really prepared for this? I haven't received answer since.
No answer. Maiyegun, on a final note, they said that they are holding in now the can because of state to what?
National security.
What is that language? National security.
For the sake of national security.
Thank you. They are holding now the kind of because of national security, and they made an open border. All the Fulani terrorists flooded into Nigeria.
Coming in
they did not. There's no national security there.
No.
There's no
national security threat. Let me tell you something, the Prince, right?
Yeah.
El Rufai said, they asked him this question. They said, your government of Nigeria is attacking and killing the Biafrans, the Igbos, in the name of IPOB. But you see, this same Nigerian government is pardoning real terrorists that are killing people, kidnapping people, and they are bragging about it. They have wreaked havoc. They have destroyed Nigeria's economy. Do you know what El Rufai said? He said, listen, you are mixing it up. What happened is this: IPOB want to break Nigeria. The Fulani terrorists are just, businessmen. They are just doing this to make money. So their crime is not as weighty as those who want to break Nigeria. That's the answer. Go and check the video. It's out there. So if they are holding Nnamdi Kanu as for a national security reason, it's because it's more valuable and a bigger threat to those who are actually killing Nigerians. And I'm beginning to wonder, does that even make any sense?
Maiyegun, they are talking of national security. Talking of national security, they release. In fact, all the terrorists that they are telling you that they are repentant terrorists are these terrorists that flooded Nigeria.
Yeah.
They are not giving them citizenship.
They are registering them with for Nigerian passport, Nigerian national ID card, Nigerian voters card. They even caught one person just a few days ago registering Nigerians to vote in Nigeria, as if to say na real crime. She na crime, sha. To register now today they register. Go on.
God bless you, Maiyegun. These people that they are telling us they are repentant Boko Haram, they are the terrorists that they brought in. They are put soldiers that they brought in. So
the ones they promised citizenship.
Now, I don't know if you have seen a soldier they caught in Nigeria Army that on his way, there are a lot of bullets, millions of bullets on his way that he wanted to go and sell. A Boko Haram that they recruited, the so-called repentant terrorists that they recruited into Nigeria Army. You understand? They are in the army, they are in the police, they are in the custom, all over. They polluted Nigeria completely. These are the same people that are telling us national security. It's a full and they are deceiving themselves and they've shot themselves on the foot. Very good. Thank you very much.
God bless you, the prince.
God bless you.
And then here we go. I have someone else. Hang on. Thank you very much. That's Prince Judgeman, by the way. So let's see. Hello there.
Hello.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm very good. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Dadani.
How are you? Àlàáfíà ni o. Àlàáfíà ni bàbá mi.
So.
Ẹ kú iṣẹ́ náà. Ẹ kú ìrìn àjò náà. Yorùbá máa agbára Yorùbá máa ti gbogbo wa lẹ́yìn. Agbára Ọlọ́run. Agbára Ọlọ́run. Ṣé àlàáfíà làwọn ọmọ àti ìyàwó wà?
Adúpẹ́ sir. Thank you very much.
Bá rántí ní around May. Orúkọ mi ní Àtàpàtà Dìde. You see it on your comment.
Orúkọ tó lágbára ni so mo rántí very very well.
Yeah. AKA Odogbo Omolu as well. AKA Lord Soldier. Àwọn orúkọ tó máa yẹ lórí platform.
God bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So bá rántí mo pè before May pé mo ń lọlé. Láti lọ ṣe security assessment kan. To bá rántí,
Are you back? Great.
I'm back now. Brilliant. Fortunately, I'm back. And what I saw on our land, go. Mo ṣe fẹ́ mo ṣe bá solo later nígbà yẹn pé kí n bá délé bí mo lè drop a couple of billboards nígbà yẹn. But wà tí mo délé gbogbo àwọn bẹ́tẹ̀ sí gbogbo tí mo lè drop billboard yẹn sí kò ń ṣe bí tí ó tán ti lè rí dáadáa nítorí border lè ní wà.
I get that.
Yeah, border ni mo wà.
Láì lórí ọ̀gbẹ́ni tó bá wa ṣe few months tá ṣe the last time yẹn nìyẹn because àwọn ní space so they can tell depends on what is the targeted people. So yeah, sometimes yeah.
Exactly, and my own targeted area actually. Nígbà tí mo ní gbogbo àwọn tí mo ní gbogbo area wa ní area Sango ta yẹn wọ́n ní àwọn bridge kan tó máa ń gùn gan báyìí. Ó ń ṣe àwọn bridge kan ó dàbí overhead ni wọ́n máa ń gùn gan. Àwọn ibẹ̀ yẹn gan irú àwọn ibẹ̀ yẹn gan ni mo fẹ́ kán bá wa ṣe sí but mo wá rí pé agbára ti pọ̀ jù ó yìí wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ń sìn tọmọ Tinubu jẹ́ ẹni tó wà ní charge of nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn kò ní sẹ́ni tó máa fẹ́ ṣe lóko so mo láti drop idea ẹ̀ anyway nǹkan tí mo ṣe pé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ní àṣálẹ́ yìí ni pé security assessment tí mo ṣe yẹn mo rí pé wọ́n gbogbo bọ́n ṣe bà business wa jẹ́ ó wá láti border wa. They ruin all our businesses through our borders. You know these people does? They fix majority of the business.
They opened the border in the north, which then allowed terrorists to flood in.
Allow the terrorists to flood in.
It's sad.
Exactly. But in the southwest here, they pretend that they closed our border.
Yes.
And they fix majority of our business people's goods. And late in the night, when my people are in the church doing VG or sleeping in their house, they pull in a lot of trucks to get all those good house to the northern part of the country. Transport down. Exactly of the community of the north, not in Yoruba land. And I discovered that I did that inspection for 2 days in the night. When my people are sleeping, these people are rolling their trucks everywhere along their land, you know. What they do, you.
Sir, more
Those
are war zones.
Exactly.
People living there, sir, including children who are like school children. They are killing them almost every month. They will say they shot this, they shot that. I know.
Exactly.
Innocent people.
Exactly. So that's the way they run our business, right? And go to the moment discover and enjoy it. If they're doing this to us, and we don't actually produce anything in that country, we depend on the imported goods to actually survive. You know, these northern people
promise us future like that.
Exactly, like that.
To us.
Oh, my brother. There's a lot going on in Nigeria. We still need more publicity, as you said on your program tonight. And I endeavor all the Yoruba that listen to me now. You know, you have to prepare. We still need more publicity, and for the contribution on the part of the Yoruba Union that you started.
Yes.
I told you on the program the other day, because around that area, I live in Nigeria area, around that border area, right? And I have a couple of lines there that I can give to you. I can list to Yoruba Nation Union for farming, up to 10 to 15 acres. And I'm just saying that on the program tonight because I don't have any of your number, or I can call you.
No, you know what we are doing, sir. You know what we are doing, sir. By the time by the time we have enough resources to mobilize the Yoruba Union organization, which we have Princess to to head for us back there as our contacts. So once we are able to mobilize them, sir, once we're able to mobilize them, you people like yourself who have something more than just money or what have you to offer us temporarily, you will now have a sort of a contact. You'll be able to call them. You'll be able to have this chat. They'll be able to establish contact with you. And everything that is needed to get us on, right? We can easily just establish those. So for now, of course, everything coming to me can be very, very sketchy and all that. To stop all of that and make sure that we have a very clearer direction and all that. That's why she's volunteering to do that for us. So yeah, we'll get to that stage and you'll be able to do that for us. By the grace of God.
No problem. No problem. I'm happy to list. I'm happy to list it for as long as Yoruba people were, will be able to, to live themselves up. It's an arable land. It's an arable land. It's very close to the border, and I can even give you another acre for a storage. But I'm just giving you a land. This in mind.
I mean,
I'm just giving you a land.
You know one thing, sir.
Yeah,
I strongly believe. I strongly believe, sir, that once we hit the road running now, once we start, you see, people like yourself.
We should start very soon.
You'll be impressed at some point, that you are not just going to make calls,
I believe I will be.
You're not just going to make calls about what's going on. You are going to make a physical contact when next you are in Nigeria. And that will likely be what you finally cement your mind and say, well, now this is real. Now we need to make this work. You know what I mean now, sir? So now when we get to that stage, I remember you and say, oh, I remember you made us a promise, and this is the time we can actually make use of that.
Definitely. I'm available.
God bless you, Baba. God bless you.
I'm available.
Stay safe.
I'm available.
Nice.
I will.
So I have another caller on the line, and I want to say another thank you. I have also received another donation, which just stopped the one we already have. So thank you, but I have a caller too. Hello there.
Hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir. This is Maiyegun. How are you?
Thank you. Good, it's Ojong Oyonga. I'm calling from Cross River.
Ojom Oyonga. Which one would you like me to call you? Ojom, right?
Yes, Ojom.
Ojom, I'll stick to that. My brother from, did you say Cross River?
Yes, Cross River.
Wow. the land of the ethics and others. People said if you are looking for a place, if you are looking for a region in Nigeria with one of the largest ethnic nationalities that are crammed into a single state, go to Cross River State. There are more than 50 there. Am I lying, by the way? Ojom.
Exactly. You're true. You're saying the truth.
Beautiful. So how are you?
Fine.
Great. You are right.
Actually, this is my Actually, this is my first time of calling. Absolutely. And I have followed this program. I have followed your program for the past 3 months.
Wow. Thank you.
And he has given me an open eye, an understanding that there are a lot of people in Nigeria that are very, very backward. But with what you are hammering intensive, I continue to synthesize people that let them join this program and hear what is happening.
God bless you.
A lot of things that we don't know because we are suffering and smiling. But you have really educated me a lot that I need to tell you, thank you for your work.
Thank you for being my friend too. I mean, I win people every day and I lose people every day. But guess what? My real friends, they have always stayed back. And I'm happy to call you one of them. Thank you.
Thank you. And God will continue to give you that strength to continue to hammer for the truth and for liberation, for freedom.
Amen to that. Hojom, thank you once again. I appreciate that. That means a lot.
All right.
You stay safe.
Thank you, sir. And keep doing your work. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's Ojom calling from Cross River. It's beautiful. So I have another caller on the line. Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Oh, Baba. Emma, is that you?
Hello.
Ojoko pẹ̀lú Baba, ekujo mẹ́ta.
Nìyẹn o. Ẹ lè pé Akin yọjú sí prógámù yín.
Okay. Yín tí o bá ti jẹ́ kárí tó kẹ ọ̀hún tán ní òwe tán níwọ̀n kí n pa nílé àná. Adúpẹ́ pé ẹ̀yà kí wa lálẹ́ yìí.
Ìyẹn tí ẹ̀kọ́. Ìyẹn kọ́ àwọn Facebook tó bá ti lè pa àwọn target àwọn àkọ́jú tó bá ti pé tó bá gbé nǹkan sórí Facebook tó bá ti lè comment bẹ́ẹ̀ báyìí. Ṣé náà máa sanction wà fún 2 months, 3 months.
For months. So Baba, only 500,000, over 500,000 subscribers on Facebook. Ordinarily, ti bá tan camera mi, láì sàn kankan kí kan tan camera mi lè báyìí. Ordinarily, you carry be 10,000. To come one bit last. So wait, Maiyegun, what are you doing? What are you saying? For the past 2 years, Facebook limit I want to replay Maiyegun live. Not just that, one limited by over 95%, like 95%, only fraction, tiny in your local market. Naturally, tiny to replay Maiyegun live. Half of them won't like, won't share. I won't tell you comment. That's to tell you how much Facebook is dealing with. So I know what you are talking about, Baba. I've been there.
Anytime tó bá tàbí gbé kan sórí Facebook tó bá ti lè comment bá bẹ́ẹ̀ lórí Buhari ìyẹn tó ń kọ́ máa fashion ní
straight. Kọ́ máa jù fún ẹjú bàtà ni pé ó tún ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ àbí ó Facebook jẹ́ straight.
Okùnṣẹ́ tó iṣẹ́ ìlú tó ń ṣe o ọlọ́wà fún gbogbo àlérè lórúkọ. Mo kàn fẹ́ kọ̀ǹfàmù nǹkan tó sọ ìrìn ní ti epo táwọn tẹ́lẹ̀ wà nígbà tó ń jí òótọ́ nìyẹn. Òótọ́ ni ìlú tí mo wà tó bá rí tó ń fi ṣe dẹ́pọ̀ epo tó ń jí láti Nàìjà. Mo kọ́ sórí kọ́mẹ́ǹtì bí adé tó lọ́wọ́ kọ́mẹ́ǹtì ẹ̀. Epo tó ń jí tó bá rí tó ń fi ṣe dẹ́pọ̀ tó fi ń sọ epo wa. Wọ́n tún wá kó sí port ní síbi ibẹ̀ tó bá ti ń gbé epo yẹn bọ̀ láti orí àìsí báyìí. Àrẹ́ẹ̀tì ni tó bá rí ilẹ̀ yẹn mo fẹ́ sọ pé ẹ̀wọ̀n fíléèjì tí mo lè fi wé o ní Ìbàdàn yẹn o ibẹ̀ yẹn tóbi tó fi ṣe dẹ́pọ̀ epo wa tó ń jí láti ibẹ̀ yẹn tó ń kó wá bíbá ọmọ pé àwọn oníṣẹ́ẹ̀lì tó ń operate Nàìjíríà.
You know what people said, Baba? People said wọ́n ní pé kò ṣe àwọn tó ra epo yẹn bí ó ṣe àwọn tó jí. India ra epo lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó jẹ́po ni. Netherlands ra epo lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó jẹ́po Nàìjíríà ni. Àwọn kan ló ṣí géètì ilẹ̀ tó fi vẹ́sù ńlá àbí vẹ́sù dàbí kí lórúkọ plane ni tó kọ́ máa fò fíà. Even plane gan níbi tó ń land sí. All those big vessels, to G millions and millions, hundreds of millions of barrels, you know. So on our judge between our rantimon, so I want to only gongolo yekelemu.
Maiyegun, ọjọ́ kọ́lọ́njọ́ kọ́lọ́njọ́ gbogbo máa ń bá tẹ̀kọ́ wá bíbà kó wá nǹkan tó ń fi táwọn ló fi sọ èkó wa. Tó bá rí ibibẹ̀ wà láhùn wọ́n ti ń jẹ Nàìjíríà tipẹ́tipẹ́.
From Nigeria.
Tipẹ́tipẹ́ ló fi ń jẹ Nàìjíríà. Ọmọ táwọn lè lo orí omi làwọn ilé. Àwọn ilé kọ̀ọ̀kan náà pẹ̀lú olè orí omi. Àwọn ìlú ìkọ̀ọ̀kan àwọn jẹ́ odò orí omi. Ó yẹ kó yẹ bẹ́ẹ̀. Àwọn ní àwọn gọ́gọ́ ni. Mo kàn tún ní gbóhùn ẹ̀yìn tó lé
Thank you so much, Emma, for stopping by.
Skúta tó ń lọ ló tún jẹ́ ká ní ká tún lọ debate. Ó tún jẹ́ ká ọmọ àráyè.
Government law school next year. Mo bẹ kí lọ ṣe kankan náà, but wọ́n jẹ́ ọkàn yẹ kó yé mi pé ọmọ ṣe lè cope ṣàbọ̀ máa try. But it's a good thing o, but try yo.
Àwa lórí àìtì lọ́wọ́. Àbí kí la máa ṣe?
Bàbá kan ló máa ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà, tó máa ń ṣe wá sí Nàìjíríà gbọ́ kíní kan ìmọ̀ òpin yẹn ni pé you don't stop learning until you die.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice one, Thank you so much. So that's Emmanuel there calling in from the UK, by the way. So Emma has been away for a while, he said, which we know. And then he is at the same time, one of the veterans of MaiyegunsDiary Politico, you would say. So thank you so much, everyone. I think we can wrap it up now. Okay. So to everybody who responded so far, I want to say thank you to you. So it's been slow, it's been quiet. Sometimes I do ask myself, well, maybe we should just close this. But another thing will tell me that no, you don't. We should just keep it going, and then I continue to at least do what we can. I really want us to do something more visible and big enough that will make all we have discussed or what we hope, to actually come to something like a reality. Nothing is too small or little to contribute, including you having to share the message as well is also a contribution. So thank you. To everyone. I am sorry I'm not taking calls anymore, okay? But I'm going to see you some other time. So to everyone who spent their evening with me again, thank you. To the commenters and the callers, thank you. You are all part of the crew that makes the program kind of, thick. So I appreciate everyone, and I'm going to see you some other time. Until then, stay safe, and I will be back with more next time.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. MaiyegunDiary Maiyegun #1. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. MaiyegunDiary Maiyegun #1. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. MaiyegunDiary Maiyegun #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. MaiyegunDiary Maiyegun #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. MaiyegunDiary Maiyegun #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. MaiyegunDiary Maiyegun #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. MaiyegunDiary Maiyegun #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀.